Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your Fishers Game Day. It is Week 8, and your Fishers Tigers take on the Westfield Shamrocks. And the setting today, I mean, I don't know about you guys, seems a little different, you know.
A little different.
I don't know how much of the camera's picking up, but there is girls soccer practice, which you haven't seen. You should check out the latest show. But they're prepping for their sectional championship game against the HSC Royals, so that's why we're kind of in a different spot. Want to give them the space that they need.
The number one team in the country as well, HSC Royals.
Yeah, they got a stout opponent ahead of them, but none we're not worried about.
No,
exactly.
Yeah.
But let's talk football today. So, Aiden, what do you see from the weather today?
Yeah, so obviously last week we had an 87-degree day, nice and sunny, no wind. This week the wind has picked up a little bit. It's starting to feel a little bit more like October. We got some overcast skies. The temperatures have dipped quite a bit. I believe it's 64, and it's only going to get a little cooler as the night goes on. So overall, feeling more like October and less like mid-summer. So, yeah, I mean, overall, a step down from the heat where it was the last few weeks. Tommy, what did you see from some of our games?
Last week your Tigers defeated the Franklin Central Flashes in an OT thriller, 36-35, and the Shamrocks of Westfield defeated the Avon Orioles 38-21 last Friday. Cash, as your specialty being the students, right? You kind of get them riled up and everything. What's the theme? And what are we seeing from them tonight?
So get your capes. Any superhero themed outfits that you guys have. The theme is superheroes tonight, and me and my buddies we're gonna have some good costumes. I think we're going Power Rangers this week. I think it's gonna be pretty nice. But yeah, it's superhero themed, so be a hero and and be at the game.
I think we're getting a Fishers Game Day flyover right
Is that
now.
there's the banner. It's Cam, Tommy, Cash, and Aiden.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think so.
No banner.
Are you sure?
I mean, Cash's connections were able to get us a flyover today, but unfortunately they did forget the banner.
Unfortunately. But yeah, like as I was saying, your Tigers won in an absolute thriller last week in overtime. Definitely got their offense going again. As we averaged 30 points a game, scored 36. So good to see the offense firing in all cylinders again.
Yeah, I mean, as Tommy was talking about, a great offensive day. Obviously, had a few bounce-back weeks since that Brownsburg game where the offense struggled. Couldn't really capitalize on those third down opportunities. Couldn't really get many first downs at all. But last week we did get 480 total yards, a much improved performance from that Brownsburg game. Obviously, that Avon game was a good offensive game as well. But it did take some time to get going for the offense. 0 points in the first quarter. Me and Cam, we had a game, so we were watching from afar, and I know we were a little nervous there watching the slow start, but obviously we stuck with it. We never doubted. We just need to see some awakening in the offense, and they came awake, and overall a good outing, 36 points, so can't complain about that.
And I mean, flipping over to the other side of the ball, our defensive line was really nice. We got in the backfield quickly, and we defended the run very well. We had 7 total tackles for loss, plus 2 sacks on top of that. Our pass defense had kind of a fluke game. Franklin Central had 290 receiving yards, and we also did not force any turnovers, which is, I mean, you don't see that often from our pass defense, from our secondary, but I think we'll be back this week, and I mean, we got the dub. That's all that matters last week.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like a different story than what we've been seeing, the last couple of years. Usually the pass defense has been kind of been on lockdown, and then the run defense has had its struggles. So, I mean, to kind of see that and still kind of get a victory when the pass defense struggled, that's huge to see from
shows how dangerous this Fishers team can really be.
Yeah, if they really get it clicking at the same time, that'll be a huge game defensively. I mean, and it'll help our offense out tremendously. But someone I want to look at is obviously our quarterback, Gage Sturgill. I mean, he was an absolute hero. He won that quarterback battle against his good friend, the quarterback of the Franklin Central Flashes, Connor Moreland. Gage had 347 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 62 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown, as well as the game-winning 2-point conversion rushing on a little end-around route. I don't know if we have film on that, but very ballsy play to win the game.
Is there any more he could have done? I mean, wow, that is.
I mean,
that's
looking at the stats,
phenomenal.
not a whole much more you could do there.
Yep.
Yeah.
No turnovers. I mean, we're going to keep the streak going.
Oh, I know.
He's had a passing touchdown every game he's played in.
Consistent.
And then this season, he still hasn't thrown an interception. This guy, I mean, he's just playing some unreal football right now.
Oh, my gosh.
You love to have him in the backfield. And then another couple crazy stats you want to hear is 2 new school records for number 11 wide receiver Vincent Rosie. 16 receptions.
16.
And 258 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he broke his own school record for the receiving yards. He had 255 against Noblesville in week 3. He only did that in half, so, I mean, if you were to play the full game like he did against Franklin Central, what's that, on pace?
400.
400 plus.
500.
Yeah.
500.
500.
This guy is breaking records. Gage is just slinging it right now. I mean, the offense is clicking. It's something you love to see, and it's really fun to watch. You know, as we're seniors right now, we're soaking all in, and we're not taking it for granted.
Yeah, and flipping sides, Tyler Manyard, our defensive end. It's nice to talk about him. I feel like we don't get to talk about him a lot on this show because he is such a key factor for our defensive line, and I feel like he's not popping up in any of the stuff we're talking about. But today we can talk about him because he had 9 total tackles and 3 tackles for loss. That's his best stat line of the year, and we just love to see that from number 44 out there.
Yeah, no, I would honestly say the reason we don't really see him that much is because these offensive lines, they just game plan him so well. They double team him. Exactly. So it's definitely good to see him break through, have a great game for him.
Yeah.
Diving into Westfield's season a little bit. This year they are 5-2, 2-1 at home. So obviously, you know, we're going to them. So hopefully make that 2-2 after tonight. A couple significant games for the Shamrocks. Losses at Carmel and Brownsburg. So both great opponents, very formidable, and 2 of our losses as well. And a dominating win against Noblesville, which honestly it feels like doesn't everybody dominate Noblesville.
No, that's Noblesville.
41-7 in week 4, and then actually beat Homestead 35-0 in week 1. So a very good team who does everything right, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we just heard what Tommy said over there, and some of their wins have been very dominating, and obviously they lost to Carmel and Brownsburg, the 2 losses that we have on the season as well. But obviously we can see against not the top opponents what they can do, how they can run up the score. So overall, I mean, a very balanced offense. They actually average 166 rush yards a game and 160 reception yards a game, so nearly identical from both the ground and the pass game. So overall, they can run the ball well, they can pass the ball well. So it gives the defense a lot to think about. It makes them make decisions. It makes them question their coverages and their reads. So really a dynamic offense that we'll likely see put on the stage again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this offense, you know, it is a little unorthodox. They kind of run split-time quarterbacks. They got 2 different quarterbacks, kind of one more of a run-heavy quarterback, and then one kind of not necessarily against the run, but he's more of a pocket passer. You know, he likes to kind of just throw it and let his arm do more than his legs. So one we're going to talk about is number 5, Aiden Grabowski. He only averages 90 yards per the air. He has 2 touchdowns on the season. He does have 4 interceptions, so cornerbacks, you know, look after that. You know, hopefully get our pass defense back to where it needs to be. But he does have 248 total yards on the ground and 5 touchdowns. So I mean, it's definitely something to look after. You got to have a quarterback spy when number 5 is on the field. And then the other quarterback I want to talk about is Cooper Melvin, number 12. He averages like 70 yards per the air. And then he has 6 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So he's definitely someone that he's a little more accurate, not afraid to sling it, and you know, he likes to stay in the pocket. He does have 2 touchdowns on the ground, but not a ton of yards. So I think he's just kind of pushing it through there at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we touched on their good offense. They do average 26 points a game, only allowing 13.7 points a game. And obviously we talked about their running ability, especially with their quarterbacks, but also we need to mention their running back, number 20, Deacon King. He has 644 yards this season, which is an average of 92, and 7 touchdowns as well. So overall, a guy that can give you close to 100 yards a game this season. He's scored a touchdown a game, so overall very consistent, and a guy that can really give you another element to an offense.
Let's flip sides of the ball for the 3rd time from Cash today. Sorry if I butcher these names ahead of time, but we have defensive end number 34, Alex Aramboles. Maybe that's how you say it, but he averages 6.5 tackles a game, has 8 sacks, 15.5 TFLs on the season as well. That's a very dangerous player that we're going to be going up against today. It's going to be, these 2 players is definitely going to be setting a, it's going to have to set a tone for the offensive line. Our offensive line is going to have to really come through today. And we also have number 6, Alumide Fapetu, linebacker. He leads their team with 7.6 sacks a game as a linebacker. That's a very impressive thing to do, and he has 9 TFLs.
I think that's supposed to be tackles a game, but that would be really impressive. Sacks a game.
Yeah, but
Keep going,
says
Kev.
sacks. My bad. Sorry, it says sacks. 7.6 tackles a game. And has 9 TFLs, 2 sacks, and an interception. Sorry, it's 2 sacks on the season. That's going to be a big factor on the defensive line as well. I was going to say, I was shocked to see that as much as you just told me. I was like, linebacker. But yeah, he also has an interception on the season as well. They're going to be 2 big key factors on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely, Cash. And Westfield did actually beat your Tigers last year in the regular season, 46-12, and also in the regional championship, 42-28. So I think revenge is on a lot of these guys' minds tonight for sure.
A couple things we want to keep looking at is around the league. There was a big game last week. Number 9 Cathedral. They upset number 2 Center Grove at Center Grove, 21-15. I don't know if much people saw that coming. Center Grove was undefeated. A very good squad over there. And Cathedral, they've taken some tough losses this year. One of those being against Brownsburg. They actually got shut out 29-0 in that game. But huge win for Cathedral, as you know. I don't know if anyone compares to Brownsburg, but after you get past Brownsburg, those teams, they're all fighting for that number 2 through that spot, all through there. And then another big game is Lawrence North defeats Warren Central 63-48. I don't know where the defense was at in that game, but it seems like Lawrence North, I don't know if they ever got stopped, but maybe they had one more stop than than Warren Central had that game. But a couple good games around the league. Aiden, what do we see this week going into the week?
Yeah, some of the teams we actually just talked about. Number 5, Cathedral, now ranked number 5, and now ranked number 7, Lawrence North, will face off this week. 2 teams that look to build off of their last weeks. Obviously, we talked about those as some of the more impressive wins that we saw from the season, from this week, sorry. And obviously, they get a chance near the end of the season to match off against each other. It's a top 10 matchup. Definitely could have some implications going later into the season.
And let's get a little player shout out. Miles McLaughlin, running back at Knox High School. He averages 31 carries a game, and he averages 350 rushing yards a game. As well, mind you, 5 rushing touchdowns a game. He has 9,461 total high school yards. This guy is an absolute beast, absolute animal.
Beast.
I don't even know what to say about him. He's that good.
Unreal.
It's just like that stat, we're going to leave it with that stats. And
yeah, he's been doing it ever since he came in his freshman year. And it seems
phenomenal.
like the dude's going to put up numbers every year.
I do want to add, I think Derrick Henry had about, 15,000 yards in high school?
No.
He could be getting
so, he's getting there. He's getting close. But talking about last week, obviously, we did battle back quite a bit in that game. In the first half, we did struggle, and then obviously we really turned it on quite a bit in the second half, and obviously in overtime as well, we took care of business. But overall, the really promising trend that we saw from that game, as we've talked week in and week out seemingly about not being able to score points late in the game and being a very front-heavy team. We're scoring a lot and beating teams in a margin game by a lot in the first half, but then kind of sliding and skidding in the second half. But obviously this week we saw quite the reverse. We came out a little bit slower than normal, but really picked it up in the intensity and really picked up the production in the second half. So really good to see. And then just overall, as we've been talking about with Gage and with Vincent and all of our guys in the pass game, our pass game just looked really good, impenetrable almost, you could say. Ever since we played that Brownsburg game, obviously that was a game where Gage struggled a little bit, couldn't find his rhythm, missed a few throws to his receivers, but now it just seems to be lights out. He's got those connections down, everything's clicking. Overall, it's just a tough unit to stop for opposing defenses at this point in the season.
Yeah, that's something you love to see. Get the run game going and the passing game going is something you just love to see from your Fishers offense. Well, before we get to a little injury report, we want to bring on someone who actually finds himself on that injury report, unfortunately, as a little interview. So number 3, running back Ryan Timbalembu.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome.
All right.
Yes. All right.
Anyone have a question they want to lead him off for?
Oh, yeah, I think I do got a question. So I believe you said that the timeline's still up in the air, but obviously sectionals is the likely timeline. Mm-hmm. What does that mean for you in your senior year to be able to still get a chance? You get injured, but you still get that chance to play in sectionals when the season might matter the most.
Obviously it's unfortunate, but from the outsider's view, but I honestly just think it's just a fortunate opportunity that I even get to suit up again in the Tigers uniform. And more than anything, I just think that means, maybe my role is not physically on the field, but I think I'm still on the sideline with my brothers, and there's 10 other people who's on the field when I'm not on the field, and about 90 other guys who's there. So I think that just means being a bigger teammate, and just I'm not obviously going to be there running the ball, but you got Sam Hawkins, so you got other players who can step up and make that play, and I have that full trust in my teammates.
Yeah, I actually want to touch on his name a little bit. Someone he's a sophomore, and it seems like you've kind of, I don't know, looked after him, kind of brought him a long way. When he's came in, he's kind of made a dominant role. He's just gets a lot of yards per carry. He'll find the end zone when he needs to. What do you see from him tonight, to kind of just lead this backfield, him and Gage kind of go after it?
I just think that it's his time to step up. He showed each and every time that when he's came in the game, he's been able to hold his water. And I just think, it's more touches for him, more opportunities is what I see it as.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with Westfield, kind of ending our season last year is kind of the mood in the locker room, revenge. Is kind of is that what is on everybody's mind this week?
Yes.
For sure.
No, I don't have anything. Thanks, though.
Well, a couple questions, I kind of want to close out with, because I know this bus has got to get going soon, but this is probably the biggest game of the year besides Mudsock and sectionals, obviously, because this is probably the tightest game we'll see, like in terms of rankings. They're number 3, we're number 6 currently, Is this would you say you've been looking ahead to this game, or do you kind of do like a more week-by-week schedule from the coaches kind of thing, or are they looking ahead from this Franklin Central game that we had last week?
It's definitely an exciting game. I don't really think there's some games obviously that you just mark on that calendar, but you don't want to take any game lightly. We play in a good conference, one of the best conferences in the Midwest, and I think you ask anybody in this locker room and they'll agree with that. But once again, this is a team that blew us out in our home field. Obviously sent one of our quarterbacks home sick last year, and then went again and did that in regionals. So that didn't sit good with anybody, and so I would say that it was revenge, and you almost do mark this on your calendar because you don't want to see that disappointment happen again.
Absolutely.
Is there any other running backs that we'll see tonight besides Sam Hawkins? Because I know we are a little banged up in the running back room and just kind of throughout the whole team.
I think you'll see that come 7 o'clock.
Ooh, I like that. And any, without giving too many trade secrets, any kind of crazy keys or something that the coaches have really been emphasizing all week?
Once again, I think you'll see that come 7 o'clock.
All right, love to see it. A little surprise.
Because Westfield, if you're watching this, we're not giving you any advantages.
No advantages.
And I have a feeling you might answer this question with come 7 o'clock as well, but with Hudson Bell obviously being injured, prayers up for him, are we going to have anyone new, special, returning kicks, returning punts?
At least you know. Come 7 o'clock.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, I think we should actually bring on a little bit of the O-line core, to give them a couple questions, kind of to lead another running back. So, O-line, you guys want to come on for a couple questions?
If they want to come on with you, those
right.
are your boys.
Yes.
Guys you're running behind.
Thank you, Ryan. Yes. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good luck tonight. Here we got center Kyle Gunawan, and I believe right guard, big.
Okay. We have 5 minutes. I was just informed by a birdie. Little told me that we have 5 minutes left.
That's number
Tyler Maynard right here.
If you remember him.
All right.
But this O-line,
Welcome, folks.
we got a little bit of a banged up squad. Is it going to be a little different blocking for a new running back here today, or how will we expect different things today?
It's not going to be much of a difference. We're going to create holes,
Yeah.
and we trust our running backs, make plays and do whatever they can for opportunities we give them.
I was gonna say they have two pretty good players on the defensive line. They have a really good defensive line. It's solid. What kind of tone are we setting in the offensive line room today, going up against these amazing, phenomenal players?
It's just the same thing that we try to do every week. Just try to hit them in the mouth.
Yeah.
Hit them when they're not expecting it, and just keep going at them.
Mm-hmm.
Wear them down. That's the name of the game. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I kind of want to touch. We obviously just had Ryan on, and we've been talking about Gage. Like, what type of confidence and maybe safety do you guys feel like you get from having those dynamic players in your backfield?
They give us huge security. Ryan, is a big playmaker, and he'll make something out of nothing, and that's the best thing about him. He has great patience, and he's just a game changer. Yeah. But with the running backs we have now, I have the same expectations I have of them than Ryan. So they're gonna do what they do. They're gonna make plays, and they're gonna run someone over. So
yeah. I like to hear that.
Yeah, ever since this Brownsburg game, I feel like the vibes have just been high from the offense, and I feel like it starts with the offensive line. I see them every time there's a touchdown. We're seeing high celebrations, a lot of cool dance moves that we're seeing from you guys. How much does that mean when the vibes are high and the energy's going for the offensive line?
It just feels great. Our offensive line coach, he keeps telling us that the energy from the offense really strives from the offensive line and those guys up front. So we try to keep it as upbeat as we can. Try not to beat ourselves up too much, but when we do, it happens. But try to keep it more up tempo, and
yeah. I just want to add one more thing. Obviously, it's been noted that they have a very good offensive line as well. Does that add any element? Do you feel the need to one-up them, or is it just, sticking to the game plan, doing the things you guys do?
Yeah, that doesn't really matter, They're going to have their line, we're going to have our line. All right, we're going to worry about us, and that's all that matters.
Love it. And just to let you guys know, these guys are going to be well fed. We did go to burritos and beer this morning, so we got our burritos in this morning, so they'll be ready to go.
Yep.
All right, well, boys, I appreciate the time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Now it's time to bring on the defensive unit. We got D lineman 93 Sean Coates, and then number 44 Tyler Maynard.
This is amazing.
Hey, this might be the most star-studded show we've had so far. All right.
I want to lead this one off. Tyler, you had a phenomenal week last week for our defensive line. I just want to know, are you going to kind of bring that with you into this game, or are you kind of just trying to set a new tone, or what's going on for you?
I think I bring it every game, so there's really nothing I need to say other than I'll just play my hardest, and no matter what week it is, no matter who we play, I know my boys behind me, and if next to me will have my back, and I know that I'll have theirs. So.
Hey, you guys got any message in the D-line this week? Any kind of crazy keys?
Really just dominate up front. Really start with the tone. We got to be really aggressive. We understand that they got some big old linemen. They got a Kansas commit. They got an Ohio commit. They've got really big up front. So, this week we've been really telling ourselves if we just keep on being aggressive, we'll be fine.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, it's like you guys were saying earlier. They have a big old line. We're focusing on being very physical tonight. That's what it is.
Awesome. Physicality up front. Yep.
I believe we all run out of time, but I think something the fans want to see is when we get a sack tonight.
What's the celebration you guys are gonna hit tonight? Sexy.
The sexy Dexy. Love it.
Dexy, yeah, we'd love to see that from you guys.
Hope to see it tonight. Yeah, we'll see you, boys.
Hey,
thanks for coming. Hey, now we got two-way player here, Camden.
I want everyone watching to know how much work these guys put in, and how much time and energy spent in this.
We put our heart crew. Hey, and the camera crew.
Hey, actually, all 6 of us, we put our hearts and souls in this.
Exactly. Hey, tune in to Tiger Talks, by the way.
Tiger Talks,
the boys on it. But hey, the boys are ready. Big game this week. Show out.
Westfield, 7 o'clock.
I got a text message today and it said, "No need for luck. Let's just go get the luck."
We make our own luck. We make our own luck.
Make our own luck with that Shamrock. Yeah.
Man, what a squad.
Yeah, what a squad. It's gonna be,
All right. Anyways, do you guys want to jump into our predictions? We kind of got an injury report with all these players coming out here. We know who's not here today and who's is here.
Want to run through that? Or
yeah. Do you want me to start it off?
I gotcha. You're
starting it off today?
Yeah, injury report right here. So we'll finally
get
we're
skipping that. I just said we're jumping it.
We're skipping.
Did you hear what I was saying just now?
Sorry. We're gonna skip it. Go straight to predictions.
All right. So I'll start us off. I think that we had a really big win last week with players playing not at their greatest, especially in our secondary. And I think that today we're locked in. We're all going to click. And I think that we're going to get a pretty dominating win in good fashion against a really solid Westfield team. I'm going to say it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I feel like most of our games have been pretty high-scoring recently. I'm going to take your Fishers Tigers 35 to Westfield's 31 this week.
Yeah, I like that prediction. I think the Tigers win this. There's not much I need to say. I think it's going to be a thriller. I think it's going to come down to the wire here. I think the Tigers pull it out 31 to 28. You
I
know,
like
a
to hear
similar
that, yeah.
score to the Lawrence North game, but I think the Tigers do like the same exact thing and come out with the victory.
Yep, Cam, I love that. You know, I think these guys got revenge on their minds. I think they're going to take this one. No, not much to be said. 31-24 Tigers.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a game if you